There we go. Timothy, what's going on, man? Glad to have you here. Everybody, Timothy was here last week. This week we have Haulin Paws on the live stream. So we're yeah, oh yeah. Redneck Woman, hello, Daniel and Haulin Paws. Yeah. All right, cool. We got 15 people here already. That's pretty wild. Starting her up. I'm the one who does not have the awesome background there with the lights strobing. That's pretty cool. Oh, yeah, let's see. How was your week?
It was well, I just kind of hung out at the house. Got to do some plumbing around here, and then eventually get back out on the road. But there's just a lot of just hanging out with the family, so it's been good family time.
Awesome, awesome.
How about you?
I had Christmas at Dad's house. We had a pre-Thanksgiving meal out with Mom and that side of the family, and we have yet to see Kara's. I don't know if that was the dog trying to break in or Kara, but uh, we'll be hopefully seeing them sometime soon here. Either going back to Ohio to visit them or um, sooner than later, hopefully. So it was a good time. A lot of turkey, a lot of pie. I'm not gonna lie, lots of pie. So that's the deal there.
Did you ever get that fireplace figured out?
So I finally found the one guy who apparently wants money in town. He's actually available on the third. So I think that's next Saturday. So the third he'll be here. I've got the time written down, but he's a full chimney. People have called it chimney sweep, whatever. They're able to clean them out and work on them, whatever. Um, I don't even I don't know anything about anything of that stuff. So he's going to come inspect it. I'm hoping I can get away with either it's good to go or it just needs to be cleaned, but the liner's good and all that. So, but that'll be Saturday. So we'll find out how much money I'm about to lose on that day. So
Well, hopefully it'll be all good, and then you'll just be able to start using it.
yeah, yeah. Right now it's in the garage, taking up it's on a little pallet. Um, when little, I mean it's a pretty large thing, but I'm gonna have I'm gonna get some pizza or something and just pay a bunch of guys to come over and help me because it apparently it's almost 500 pounds, but 500 pounds on a little skid going down the stairs. um, Another person who bought one recently said that yeah, we had three people, we needed four. So I'm hoping that works out. But yeah, I'd love to be able to have the wood burner and you know, wood burning heat in a house. To me, I've been in a house before with wood. It just seems like it's a blanket. It's a different type of heat.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about that more than anything else. So okay, the comments are blowing up here.
Yeah.
Let's see, Blue Thunder, what's going on? Funning's in, kaboom. Brian, what's going on? Hey, Daniel and Paws. Jay Evans, hello guys. Yeah. Let's see, Mickey, Vernal, Utah. I feel like half the cities that people say in the comments, I just butcher it. Absolutely butcher it. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing it like at least half, but let's see. Robert Porter, hi from the rest area of I-80 at Wyoming Utah line. Nice. Scott, hi guys and gals. Dennis, what's going on? Now there is a pair that will beat 3 of a kind. Oh man, Chris James, what's going on, sir? Jim, what's going on? Thurman, good evening. Got home from Friday night, taking a few days off. Nice. Transport Bandits, what is going on? I'm dying here. If you want to take over some of the comments, I'm going to breathe and drink water real quick.
I don't know where you. Okay, yeah. Redneck Woman. I don't know when it's gonna pick up. I've been steady, but it's been a different kind of steady than normal. Normally, I can pick and choose where I want to go, but now it's just I have to take whatever's there and just chase the money. So I haven't dropped in any miles, but per month. But I would like it to get back to the way that was. But I think it's going to be. I personally think it'll be probably February before we really see it start to creep back up. The Winnemucca. I just had an argument with a guy about how to pronounce that. Greg's in Winnemucca. I think I'm saying it right. I'm not really sure, but but I did have a phone conversation with the guys like, no, it's not how you say it. I'm like, well, yeah, it is. No, we went back and forth for a while about it. Let's see. Hey, there's Len. Now, okay, so this is how you get the fireplace down in the basement. Put Len at the bottom of the stairs and push it down. He'll catch it.
Oh man, shots fired.
Let's see, Chris, you're borrowing money to stay afloat? That's tough times there, buddy. The Transport Bandits spent time with their Amish friends. It's Alan, Pennsylvania, the guy that broke down in Alaska. Let's see. Jim, your last run netted your lowest percentage. Is that like the whole time that you were out, or just the last like single haul that you did? Trying to figure that out. My last, whatever it was, I would think I was out for just short of 2 weeks. My percentage stayed just about the same. It was about 2% down, but it's I'm not really dropping a whole lot in my percentage because the fuel prices are coming down. See, 5100 shocks, Brian. Everybody uses them. I mean,
yeah, love them.
Everybody has those Bilsteins. I had one problem with one. I'm not really sure what happened. It blew a seal and started leaking on the driver's side rear, and they replaced it. But it was kind of a pain in the butt to replace it because I had to pack it, ship it. They had to inspect it. They said, "Yep, it's broke," and then they sent me a new one. But they did send me a new one. That's the trouble that you have when you order online. If it would have been like a parts store local, they would have just swapped it out. But Bilstein made me ship it to them. Let's see. Mickey picking up a short haul in the morning, then back to Colorado in the afternoon. Well, at least you're keeping the wheels turning. Todd, fuel is $3.51 in Grand Island. That's cheaper than when I just went through there when I came back, and it was pretty darn cheap when I went through there. $3.51 is awesome. Steve, I don't know any mechanics that are good with the power strokes around Goshen. I'm not really sure where you're at, but upper pan gasket leaking, that's not a fun repair. I know that for sure. Another person in Grand Island, Nebraska. Getting the cheap fuel out there in Nature Photos.
Oh my word.
$5.55 in Pennsylvania. Golly.
For me, just in Lafayette, it's been the cheapest I found was $5.39. The highest I found was $5.79. And then all of a sudden, in the last like 2 or 3 days, I don't know if it's Thanksgiving or what, but as low as what was that? 503. And then I saw, and then a mud flap I saw as low as 479. My head just about popped off. I haven't seen those, obviously, just being local. I'm not, seeing the major differences across the country, but I just about lost it. Under $5. What? Man.
I just did I'm uploading a video tonight of the last 2 weeks that I was out, but mostly it's just my California run all the way to California and back. I only paid over $5 once, and it was only for 12 gallons. I topped off in Reno, Sparks, so I could get into California. I had to do 2 reloads in California and then get back out. So I just topped off with 12 gallons at $5.29. But other than that, everything was $4, $3 all the way across country.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Let's see. Wait, Dennis, it's only costing you $400 a month to be a transporter? It's costing me a whole lot more than that. But I still got a payment on my truck. Jim, yeah, single haul we can't get 2 in a row. That's really frustrating. You can get 2 reloads, but it's not like it used to be where you could stack up or even deliver in California and be dispatched before you left California. Now, I don't know how it is with the other companies, but with Wave, we have to be able to pick up by 11 o'clock the next day, 11 a.m. So if you can't do that, so let's say you're in, if you're in Winnemucca, then you can't dispatch until you can get close enough to be able to pick up the next day, which is, I guess that would be about Grand Island, would be about the furthest you could be away out west, and then be able to get there in the morning and pick up. I mean, unless you sleep in like me, because I don't get up until like 9 o'clock. Hey, is that you? Come here. Come here, you. That's my son.
Come on.
Well, I had to set up the whole system. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of people here. I don't know why. Okay, wait. I just thought of something. Daniel, what's for dinner?
What's for dinner? Well, I had some Burger King, but also a little bit of turkey, and then I just had a little piece of pie, silk chocolate pie. It's just a beautiful thing. So little drink here, and food's all gone at this point.
I know I'm missing something here. I got to scroll way back up. I don't even know where I got lost here.
Yeah, there was a redneck woman said, not sure how much longer we can hold on. This is one I saw.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I've been doing okay, and a lot of the drivers that I know that I talk to all the time have been doing okay, but it's just a different world. It's not,
right.
1,000 loads on the board and you pick and choose. It's when something hits the board, you hit that redial, and if you got a call, literally, I mean, not even exaggerating, 153 times to get one of those loads, you just have to do it and go wherever. Daniel, your situation's different, but for like me and for Len and a couple other guys, and Greg. I mean, he just grabbed one and went to California. Had to squeeze that in because he left. Correct me if I'm wrong, Greg. He left Friday and had to deliver by Monday in California because that's it. We only had Monday to deliver because all the camping places are closed.
Get down, yeah,
for that inventory thing. So he had to get it in there just on Monday. And if he would have got any weather going across there and got shut down, he would have been stuck with it for 4 more days.
Oh, my word.
That wouldn't have been fun.
Mm.
But now that he's back to Winnemucca, and I guess he made it and got it all delivered.
Mm.
Chris, shock absorbers don't go under your bed. They go under your truck. I think you're misunderstanding how they work.
Never mind. Oh.
He says he's got a set of 5100s under his bed.
The rear axle or what?
I think he's talking about under his house bed. I'm not sure.
Spring action. Norman Norman, what's going on? Let's
see. Dennis, 319 in Springfield, Missouri. So yeah, prices are coming down.
I'll take it. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to be lowering my surcharge for fuel for the dumpsters, but to recover. But let's do it. Man.
Yeah, there was that weird, it was only for, I think it was only like 6 hours, but it was $2.40 something cents at a 7-Eleven on the turnpike just north of Goshen on 80. It was weird. I looked at it on the app and went, what? And I pulled in and I was filling. There was another guy that was there doing hot shot. He was filling. And we're just looking at each other. I'm like, I don't know what's going on because it's not right. And we got the thing. Yeah, we filled it up, and then it switched. I told someone about it, and they said I just went there, and it was 6:30 something. And I was like, oh, sorry.
Oh man! Wow, found the honey hole in that, man. Somebody's getting reprimanded for that.
Yeah, I had a mishap earlier. I was going to change my hoodie, and I said, well, screw it. I'm just going to leave it. That's actually PB Blaster. Had a little whoopsie. He says my belly's leaking. Transport Bandits. Yeah, my antlers. My wife says, that's a good hat to wear for the live. That'll be fun. Let's see. $400 just for insurance. I don't count the truck payment because I already had that payment before I started. Dennis. Okay. So I don't know. Based on from what I've heard, 400, 300 and something is about average for our insurance. I don't know what everybody else is paying, but I pay like $368 or something for my insurance.
$280, I think I've got.
Is that with full coverage and all that, or is that just the unladen? Okay.
Yep.
I didn't know what to do with mine, so I just insured my truck for $80,000. That's more than the truck's worth, but
right.
I figure with all the stuff in it, with the fuel tank and the fifth wheel hitch and tools and all that, if somebody stole it, then I would at least get all my stuff back.
I know they asked me, what is it, additional equipment or additional whatever. Whatever the truck was, I went up just because of the market could, be up or down just for the truck itself. But then I went like $5,000 above that. And then I figured if everything is toast, fifth wheel, like you said, toolboxes, fuel tank, I figured another $5,000. So I put the additional equipment line or whatever that was that they asked. I just put it at $5,000 extra just to have that set up there. So
let's see.
And it says, "Hey, little Paws."
Not so little anymore. It used to be. But cheese of Pete's. Let's see where we at. Folding clothes. Pastor Anthony. Good man. Happy wife, right? Unless you're just folding your clothes for the road. Which that's all I do. The only clothes I fold is when I'm packing for the road. Oh. Prayers for my mom. She's having surgery in the morning. We'll add you to the list, Pastor Anthony.
Who's that? Okay. Oh, yeah.
Transport Bandits had that smorgasbord again when they're out there in Amish country.
Oh man, I'm so jealous of that. That sounds so good. Oh my word.
I want to try it so bad. And the next time I go to Pennsylvania, I have to try that. What is it called? It's called like a Screamin' Burger or something. You can only get it in one place. It's got marshmallow fluff on it.
What?
It's got marshmallow fluff, cheese, bacon, some kind of hot sauce. I'm not really sure, but it's supposed to be the greatest hamburger in the United States.
An ambulance waiting at the back door or something.
Yes.
Oh my word. Oh man.
Dennis, yeah. I know some other people that are doing the same thing with the motorized loads. There seems to be an abundance of them. I don't get to see the Synergy board, but the people I've talked to that work for them say that there's quite a few of them. And Pinnacle's the same way. I've got friends that are driving for Pinnacle, and they're waiting to get into single pull with a different company. But right now, that's what they're doing. They're doing the drive away stuff. And you got to do what you got to do to make money. My biggest concern with that is, how do you get home? If you got a car you can tow, great. But if you got to take airplanes, I just don't know how you make money doing that.
It looks like we've got probably 35, almost 40 motorized.
Oh, you can see that on your board?
Yep. It's fairly terrible there, but yeah, I'm able to see what's the pay on these. $1, $6, $11, $4, $14. Kind of a mixed bag. California, a lot of West Coast, some East Coast, and just a very few in between, it looks like. Kind of a mixed bag. I'm kind of surprised. But definitely some out west there. But,
I've never really looked into it. I just don't know how you'd make money doing it just as one person. Now, when Jeff and Cheryl do it, they do it a different way, and that they make some money doing that.
Absolutely.
But for me to just do it, I just don't know how I could make money doing it.
I feel like the time is so much more against you at that point. I mean, if you don't already have, and the thing is for me, and you'd have to just rise to the occasion for you to deliver and then already have everything planned out before. You're not sitting there looking at your phone. Well, how am I going to get here? And, finding the best price from an Uber or a taxi or something to the airport or some bus, or I don't know how you wouldn't be able, you'd have to go by flight. I feel like a bus or anything is going to just take way too long. So I'm not responsible enough to make all of those decisions so quickly. And at the end of the day, yeah, I do know the only person that I know who he was sort of a family friend. I heard about RV transport in general from him years ago, He's not the reason why I got into this at this time, but he was doing drive away, and he's got a tow car, and him and another dude who they worked for like 3 companies, and they would do a circuit from Goshen to like North Carolina up to some other like New Jersey or something, and then they did a full circuit, and each circuit would take about a week. They would just ping pong and bounce around, split the hotel, split the fuel for the tow car from the few places in between, and he was saying he was bringing home some crazy money back in the day. He didn't go into great detail about it, but I'm just like, man, now that I've seen years later, now that I see this, I'm like, how you'd have to do it that way, or else I don't know.
There's a lot of people that don't make it, that don't have a tow car that I know personally. They didn't survive. Oh, Dennis has said he doesn't have a good small car for towaway. That'll hurt. Todd, the new tires. They were really good in the snow that I got caught in Michigan. I went the last 18,000 miles on them, and the only place I ran into snow was in Michigan when I was picking up a reload to head back to Colorado. That was when Buffalo got that big snow. All that snow was coming down and just pummeling down there by Chicago and across the bottom of Michigan. So I did get stuck in about, it was falling pretty good. It's about 6 inches on the road, and the tires did amazing. And then I got into some black ice with a camper with 18 mile an hour side wind, trying to get down into 80 to come across, because I didn't want to go any more west into Michigan because it was just, they're forecasted 14 inches of snow. So I wanted to go south first, get to 80 and go below it. And the wind pushed the camper sideways on the black ice, and I saw it in the mirror, but the truck stuck. The truck stayed where it was supposed to be. I slowed down. That was a butt puckering moment for sure. And then I was watching for the next black ice. It was in a field. It was like farm field on both sides, and it was just where the snow was coming across. It made really, really slick area. But the tires were great, and they've been wearing really well. It's even across. I've got the Firestone Destination XTs. They're a little more aggressive than what I wanted, but I had enough people tell me that they were good tires, so that's what I got for my next tires. But they were really good in the snow. They've got a little noise to them, but I drive a Jeep with 37 or 38-inch tires, so tire noise is like not a thing to me. I don't even hear tire noise. It's more like a high-pitched whine when the window's down. You can hear it. So other than that, I don't even hear it. Let's see.
Reset channel. What's going on, sir? Glad to have you here.
Oh, Chris has got his shocks under the bed in the truck in the back seat. He just hasn't got to his shop to have them put on. You know, it's only 2 bolts, right? It's like literally 2 bolts. You can take the shocks out. If you've got a crescent wrench, I think you can change shocks.
I would say my top bolt, it had an emotional connection on my rear right. I'm telling you, this thing was bonded for life. I just about lost it all. But yeah, I hope nobody else has that issue.
Well, Chris drives a Ford. He doesn't drive the Dodge that has the rust problem. So,
oh dear, I gotta tell you, I'm surprised. Well, I've been in more East Coast or whatever Northeast snow than West overall, but I feel like the worst snow the worst like salt and everything is when I come back to Indiana. So I feel like unless I don't know. I don't think my Ram has too much rust. It definitely does, but I feel like it's held up decently. I guess I don't know. And I think I had one video where I showed my buddy's truck and stuff. We were talking about in there. He used to get a car wash every single Friday or whenever he would come back in town. Every single week, he would immediately go straight to the car wash, the bank, and then Menards to pick up more fuel, other stuff, additives. And like, man, I'm not that hardcore, but yeah. I'll take light rust on my truck, please.
Up here, they go across the bridge into Canada because, like, I can see Canada from my house, and they have this process that's an oil coating. They spray the entire bottom of the vehicle with oil, and they even shoot it like inside the doors till it runs out the drains, and they inside all the seams and everything else. Basically, it's kind of a form of bar and chain oil, like for a chainsaw, because it's got a huge rust inhibitor in it, and they spray everything on the bottom of it. Now, the old time farmers around here, they just spray the bottom with used diesel oil or whatever. They just spray whatever they want on the bottom of their trucks. But to do it the right way, they go over to Canada, they power wash everything, and then they coat it all with oil. Works really good. It didn't save my Dodge, though. I cut a hole in my Dodge with my power washer. So
that's a bad day for the Dodge.
Oh. It was right on the rocker. I went across the rocker, and then I looked at it, and it was just, I sliced it like a laser. That's when I noticed that there was rust. Other than that, it looked immaculate. It was a black truck, and I just sliced a hole right in the rocker with the power washer. Let's see, where are we at? We're way behind.
Not good. But I hate it for 2 weeks. Then I take the rest of the year off, then move boats sometime starting in January. Storm and Norvin. Man. We're switching over to driveway. I can't see the profit in it if you don't have a towable car or ride back. Bandits, yeah.
Greg, you got them to take Sunday deliveries? I did the same thing. The paperwork said Sunday. I pulled in and went, paperwork says Sunday. And they went, we don't do Sunday deliveries. And then they said, well, we'll get somebody to do it. And they went out and did it. So good on you there, Greg.
Man, bold move. Make it happen.
I told you, I don't call. I told you last week, I don't ever call.
That is crazy. And is it your company that says not to call at all? You're not supposed to, or is it somebody else said that?
No, that was somebody else. I just don't call unless it says call, or like Ashland, Virginia. I delivered there, and they said we would like if you called first because they have a whole bunch of stuff they do. They do all this paperwork and they make labels and all this stuff, so it saves you about 45 minutes. So if you call, even if it's just a couple of hours ahead, they print all that stuff up. So when you get there, you're in and out in 20 minutes. But if you don't call, you're there for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, because they got to make a label and they stick these labels on there and all that. So I call for them. They're the only ones I deliver to anywhere that I actually call unless it says on the paperwork, call.
Man.
And I got the same thing in Vacaville where it said Sunday. I showed up on Sunday and they said, we don't take Sunday deliveries. And I said, but the paperwork says you do. And they said, yeah, we've told you guys before. I'm like, sorry, I'm here. And they said, okay. And they checked me in and I left.
Oh, my word. Man.
I told them, I said, well, I'll be out in the parking lot till tomorrow when you can check me in. And then they got a manager and checked me in.
Uh-huh. Yep. Man.
Oh, Dennis is saying that the fuel is going up in Springfield, Missouri, not going down. I've been seeing it going down in a lot of places, but it's fluctuating like crazy. It'll go 60 cents up and down. Even Wells, Nevada was not the cheapest, and it's usually incredibly cheap. Same thing with Sparks, Nevada. It's usually cheaper than anywhere else out there. but it wasn't. But it's jumping 60, 80 cents up and down. I don't know what's making it do it. But. Oh, Jeff says the stain on the belly is a sign of a real man. There you go.
Natured Up photo says bandits, then Todd is the realest of real men. Oh, man.
Oh, man. Packing for the road. Are you going out on a run there, Pastor Anthony? Or are you packing for going to see family?
Oh, he doesn't have one yet. Hopefully he'll land one by Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. Good luck. I haven't even looked at the board to see if there's anything on it. Last time I looked, there wasn't anything on the outbound, and we had a whole bunch of reloads. But a lot of them were like Washington to Oregon, Oregon to Washington, Washington to Northern California. I'm not going to drive out there to do a reload all the way to Washington.
See, Dennis, my unladen is 115. Physical damage is 400. My point was that with no income from loads, I'm paying for the privilege. Yeah. I don't think it's currently, as far as financial goes, it's not worth paying the $300 to be able to say I'm a transport driver. But the thing is, there's that cost of sitting here with no loads, but then versus, when loads do pick up and then you have to apply, go through orientation. That's way more of a hassle and costly to me to wait to get set up and go jump through all those hoops than it is to just stay on the board, stay, on the books. And then when loads pop up, you're immediately able to hopefully get on some of those. So yeah, cost, different type of opportunity costs.
Pastor Anthony says that Horizon Drive-Away has 73 on the main board and 34 on the reload.
Man, I'm way behind.
I just kind of flung down.
Yeah, I'm sorry if we miss your comment. It's not you, it's us or something.
Yeah, I'm trying to pick out some interesting ones here. Not that the other ones aren't interesting, but a lot of them are people talking to each other. Bennett has 302 drive-away loads right now. 302? That's
Wow.
crazy.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know what what drive-away load boards normally look like.
It's more than Synergy's 30 something.
Yeah.
Man.
Transport Bandit says they can't make drive-away a single drive-away driver that flies back. No profit in it. Yeah. What's her name? Dina. She had trouble with working that out too, and a couple of people I know too. Same thing. If you got to fly,
well,
just eat everything.
On the other side, then you're wasting so much more time on a train or a bus or something like. So you retain more money, but it takes you longer to get back to ultimately slow you further down. So, like, man, double-edged sword there.
All right, Robert Smith. I have an older truck. How hard is it to pass a DOT inspection? Me and my wife have wanted to do this for just forever. Just now got a truck, but not sure if it will pass the inspection yet. There's two different kind of DOT inspections. One is your mechanical for when you first get signed on, and you go to a shop that will inspect everything. They'll look for leaks. They'll look for loose ball joints, tie rods. The tires are good. All the lights work. Mechanical things like that. They are not, and this is a big misconception, they are not looking for, do you have your fire extinguisher? Do you have your triangles? Do you have things like that? They're looking for just the mechanics of the truck. And if you can pass that, then you can go to the next step, which is then outfitting the truck. And then there's a DOT inspection that's on the road, and that DOT inspector will look at triangles, tire pressures, the load range on the tires and stuff like that. It for the DOT inspection the first go around, they don't even care about what kind of tires you have, as long as they have tread and they're good tires. The DOT inspector on the road is going to care that you're not overloading your tires. But it's really not difficult to pass an old truck if it's in good shape. I passed my 2001 F350 dually, and it passed. I had a ball joint that was out of it, so I brought it home, did the ball joint, took it back, and then of course, as I'm pulling in the parking lot, I get out, I look at it, and it's leaking coolant for the second inspection. The overflow, the degas bottle cracked on the way to the inspection.
Oh.
And I said, dude, I'm ordering it right now. And he passed me. So he didn't fail me because of it.
In
said, that's dumb.
In 2016, my 05 Ford with flying colors was good. I would just say to that, I would be more concerned with finding a company that's even hiring a person or leasing on a truck that is older. I feel like more than ever, at least right now, for the foreseeable future, their restrictions are probably going to be at an all-time high of what they're willing to even lease on, because they're not the one. I mean, they're vulnerable, but we're more vulnerable. So as drivers with lower levels of load. So ask every company that you start talking to, how old of a truck are you willing to hire on? And if they're kind of iffy, or if they just even say no, I would still push them and say, hey, can I send you pictures? Like, it's not an absolute rust bucket. That would be my bigger concern than even the DOT inspections, as he's talking about there. So
yeah, that's true. They hired mine and they said they wouldn't. I think 2005 or 6 was the cutoff, or maybe it was 8. I don't remember. But I sent pictures. I had them all on the phone. I had it all cleaned up. The truck was detailed and it looked beautiful. And I sent the pictures, and then they approved it. So it is, none of that is written in stone. They say there's a cutoff, but
it fluctuates.
Yeah. If they need drivers, they're like, then we don't really have that cutoff. So yeah, there's a whole lot that is open to bending the rules when they need drivers. Right now, I don't know anybody that's hiring. I mean, unless it's a driveway. I don't know anybody that's hiring. Our next with Wave, our next orientation isn't until the last week of January. And they said that might not even fly. They just had their last one November, was it October 27th, or was it no, I was on the road. I was just out on the road. So it was just the last week of November they had, but it was CDL only, and there was 4 drivers in it. That was their last class.
Wow.
All right, scroll down. The truck needs some work, Robert. Do the work then. Don't even bother taking it to a, first of all, like Daniel said, make sure somebody will take it on. But don't even bother wasting the money at an inspection shop. If you know it needs ball joints, then do the ball joints before you take it, because they will find those. Let's see. Mickey. Allen wrench on the top to hold the shaft on the Bilsteins. Yes and no. If you use an impact, then you won't need that. It's not an Allen wrench. It's the opposite. It's an external Allen wrench, because there's a hex on the top. But if you use an impact, then you won't need it. But if you don't have an impact, then you will have to hold the top of the shock. You're right. Especially on the Ford. I don't know how it is on Dodge. Ford's got just the sticky uppy part in the front. I don't know how it is on Dodge. And we never talk about Chevys. Are they even on the road hauling?
I don't know. I've seen them, but they're more like a mirage or something out on the road. I don't know. I don't
Oh, wait.
know.
Is Sea Farmer on here? I don't know if Robbie's on here. He'll come after me because he's got his Chevy. He likes his Chevy.
Oh, man.
Let's see. Oh, the power washer on my Dodge. It was just a normal gas power washer that I had. It's nothing special. It was just Dodge and their aluminum foil steel. It just, I loved my Dodge, but the rust killed it. Let's see.
Reset channel, no kidding. Ask me about the waiting to get hired back on. Oh, man.
Oh, Dennis, why do I not call? I don't know. I know that it could make things go smoother, but I called a lot when I first started, and a lot of times I just got okay, well, we'll see you when you get here. Click.
I've had those, yeah.
And very few did I ever get, oh, thanks for calling. They all just thought I was crazy. They're like, okay, so you're not going to be here for 17 hours? Well, then we'll see you when you get here. Click. And so that's why.
When you're usually arriving, have you ever come on your paperwork? Does it show when they stop accepting? Like
Yes.
hours? Have they ever been wrong on the hours of operation? Like they close?
Oh, yeah. Like Vacaville, that one that Greg just delivered to, it says Sunday, like 5 to 7 or something, or something. It says that they take delivery on Sunday. They don't. When you get there, they say they don't, but they'll still take it. But they do. It gives you, like, you got to be there by 3, you got to be there by 4, you got to be there by 5. And sometimes I'll call if it says something weird, like we take deliveries till 7. I'll call them and verify that it's 7, because 7 is not a normal time. 3 or 4, I'm okay with, but and I don't call those. But if they say they take deliveries till 7 or 8, then I call those ones.
I run into the 4. It'll say 4 or 5 all the time, and I call because I'm delivering it by the end of day. Almost every load that I'm taking, whenever I do get a load, by the end of the day, and so I can turn around and come back home, and I'll drop off. It'll be 2:45 or something. I'll call, or usually I call in the morning, but they'll say, "Oh yeah, we stop accepting at 3:00." I'm like, the paperwork I have says 5 or 4. And they're like, "Yeah, it's 3, and if it's a second past 3, we'll see you tomorrow." Like, ruthless. And so that's why I'm like, dude, if I didn't call and if I trusted the paperwork, I'm dead in the water for I don't know how many different deliveries. So that's why I'm like, man, either he's got to be delivering like not at the end of the day, like I'm always doing seemingly, and I'm always like in a rush to get there right before, or I don't know, man, I'm going to the wrong places. It's just, oh, this paperwork just, it's a lie.
I try to get there a few hours before they close. I'm usually getting there earlier rather than later. What did I just? How did it jump up? I just saw this somewhere. Oh, Transport Bandits. Yeah, the Canada's Family Day. Yeah, holidays can definitely screw things up. I have run into that where I had to wait. But like Daniel was just saying, that 1 minute after 3:00 thing, I was delivering in Minnesota, and it was going to be a blizzard that night. And I called them and I said, I'm coming in, and they took deliveries until 5:00. I said, I'm going to be there at about 10 after 5, maybe quarter after 5. Can I deliver it? And because I want to get it delivered before this blizzard hits. No, they would not let me do it. So I had to sit there, and then the blizzard came in that night, and we got 11 inches of snow while I was sitting in my truck in a gas station across the street from the dealership, because they had gates that they closed, and you couldn't even park in the dealership parking lot. So I just hung out until they plowed everything out and then got in. But yeah, they did not even give me a few minutes on that one. I begged. I even told him I'd give him $50,
Yeah,
and there was no go.
I've tried to bribe as well. The one thing I did, I think I made a video about it a while ago, but I had a big situation with the what is it? It's in Missouri, just west of St. Louis, and I went back and forth with this lady, and she was another person, not a second past whatever time it was, and I was like, okay. So she said, well, I'll see you tomorrow then, and I said, no, as I told you before, I have to be back for some. I think it was an appointment, family thing going on. Like I won't be here the next day. She says, "Well, you're not coming today. If you're here, Pat, that's fine. That's fine. I just I'm trying to disengage from your aggressive, hostile." She was fired up, and I'm just like, "What is this? Like, I'm just not gonna mess with it." Because I'd asked, could I even park the trailer there and it not be delivered? But I come back with another load and then check them both in with the paperwork. Like, would Synergy be okay with that if I did that on the delivery dealership's property? And she just got really worked up. You can't do that. You can't do this. You have to be here tomorrow. Okay, whatever, lady. Have a great day. I called a RV storage, regular monthly storage place just down the road. They said they would charge me the month worth of a storage area. I paid like $55. I came back with another load to St. Louis like 2 or 3 days later, delivered that one, drove 5 minutes, picked up the other one. I got refunded the percentage prorated rate of the month period. So I paid like $15 to let that camper sit in storage. Synergy was super cool about it. They just needed to know where it was. So I sent them the paperwork. Then delivered that second one, and the lady checked in the second one, not the first one, and she was just like scowling at me, like she knew what had just happened because I was in there before, and so she was just laser beam shooting out of her eyes. I'm just like, I don't care. Oh my word.
Dennis, Wave, the reloads are hit and miss. It always seems like I'm on the East Coast and all the reloads are on the West, or I'm out West and all the reloads are on the East Coast. I got lucky and they called me in. There were two right at the dealer I was delivering at, going from Vacaville to San Martin, and I ended up doing those. But reloads, like anywhere else, I call it free money, because I'm not counting on it. It's not in my business plan. I don't factor it into anything. So when I get a reload, that money goes right into the bank account for the truck, and it's just extra money. So I wouldn't say that Wave does well on reloads. If you can get them, then you can do well on them, but they're not great.
Dennis, I am dying here. You need to call to let them know in advance that I don't plan on stealing anything from the trailer. Oh my word. That was also right before or right after St. Louis. I think it was real close. Oh my word. That dealership, brand new dealership. I want to go back now and just be like, hey, so have you ever had anything?
Where's my power cord?
Yeah. Oh my word. I just want to hear it from his mouth. Yeah, it's pretty common now. I guess it's
No, you've got an eBay store selling RV power cords.
I'm cornering the market on RV power cords, man. I'm stripping it down. I'm assuming it's copper or something. Stripping it down for the copper and making millions now. Oh my word.
Let's see. All right, let's see if we can't scroll down here. $7,000 to fix the upper pan gasket leak? Holy crap, Steve. The motor has to come out to do it right, probably, and that means the cab's got to come off. So yeah, there's a lot of, well, if there's not a ton of labor in taking the cab off, you can take the cab off in about probably an hour and 45 minutes. But pulling the engine out to do that, that's crazy. But even if you go back to the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, it wasn't easy to do just a pan gasket on those Fords because that cross member that went across the bottom, you had to jack the engine way up and take the intake manifold off half of them. It was not fun.
Storm and Norman, prank call that dealer lady back. Tell them you need to buy a big camper today, but you can't come until after 6 p.m. Oh, I love it.
Fuel discount is all over the place. One day it's 78 cents. The next day it's 22 cents. I don't even know. I wouldn't say that it's getting better. It's just getting very volatile. You never know what you're getting. Transport Bandits. Yeah, I don't blame her for getting out of it either. I know she was working to try to get a tow car, but just can't make any money when you got to fly every time. And after 3 months, she only made $300. That's killing it.
Oh my!
You can't do it for that. I don't blame her at all. Oh, another YouTuber says when things get bad, you pay up the insurance and do a Mississippi truck wash. Step 1, roll down your window. Step 2, put it in the river. Step 3, call the insurance.
Oh man.
Dennis, Robert, bring your truck to Arkansas. If you have air in the tires, they'll pass you. You have to have the fire extinguishers and all that stuff. Dennis, for the mechanical DOT inspection, you have to have the fire extinguishers. That's not even on the checklist. So I don't know why you'd have to have that for the mechanical DOT inspection. We're not talking about on the roadside, because I just got a roadside Arkansas inspection and they were thorough, like ultra thorough. They checked parking brake, checked trailer brake. He stood on the side of my truck and made me apply the brakes and make sure the trailer held, all that stuff. He popped the hood, looked underneath the hood. I mean, I was there for almost an hour and a half for that inspection. So they were pretty thorough for that, but I don't know about the mechanical tests. Let's see. Storm and Norman, Mudflap's pretty good app for finding discounts. Yes and no. I mean, depends on what company you're pulling for, because I only found like 2 Mudflap times that it was cheaper than my EFS discount. But if I was running off I have 2 EFS cards. One is a personal one and one's my company one. If I was running off my personal EFS card, then Mudflap would beat it. Probably 75% of the time. Stormin, yes. Carbon monoxide detector. It's wintertime. I think we need to do another video and just remind people about that. Because there's going to be a lot of people running their vehicle, and I have one also. It's basically designed for airplane use, personal airplane use, and you can't use the ones from the house. They're not sensitive enough. They are no good for in the truck. But you get those little ones that are very sensitive, and then you're safe. Well, there she is. Come here, you.
Crashing the line. What up, dog?
But you guys got to stay safe out there. Carbon monoxide's a real thing, and that's an important thing. Let's see. Black Friday deal on Amazon for $65 for the carbon monoxide detector. I think that's cheaper than when I bought mine a year ago or a year and a half ago. I don't remember now.
I can't remember how much mine was. I'm gonna look at my video.
I think mine was like $105 or something like that. I can't remember. I'd have to go back through my eBay or Amazon thing and figure it out.
I just pulled up my video. I'm so thankful you can search your videos. You can search the titles of your videos. I don't know if you've always been able to or not, but I just discovered I can do that just off of my phone on the YouTube Studio thing. CM2000 sensor is the one I got from Amazon. And how much is this? $67.98. Toxinsensors.com, but it's on Amazon. Sun visor, and then you can have it as a key ring. I didn't realize there was a key ring option. But yeah, 67, 68 bucks, whatever.
Transport Bandits. I only idle when it's like super duper cold out and I don't want to shut the truck off. But if it's just like normal chilly out, then I'll run the generator with my electric blanket and my little 400-watt ceramic heater, and then everything's fine then. But yeah, a lot of people idle every single night. Let's see, Dennis. Chevys aren't allowed in transport. Oh crap! Telling you, Robbie's gonna come and whoop your butt. Let's see. Scroll down here. Len, you shut up. I sleep until I wake up, so leave me alone. Okay, Greg, heard a rumor that Wave isn't posting any outbound unless it's not Camping World until they get an okay. Could be Monday next week before we see anything. No, I haven't heard any of that, but I haven't been talking to anybody either. I just been sitting here waiting for my stupid parts to get here so I can fix the all smashed up front of my truck from the deer. That'll be another video of me putting that ranch hand bumper on. All right. Hey, we're catching up, I think. Greg says, nope, reloads are not the best at Wave. Should be the same price. I totally agree that reloads should be the same price. I mean, we have a fair amount of reloads available usually. I mean, even when we had nothing on the outbound, we had like 86 reloads going. So those are okay, but you're right. They should be there's no reason that they should be cheaper. But they are. So, and they know that we'll take them. Just like Florida loads shouldn't be cheaper than a Missouri load. But it is. And they know that people will take them.
Yep.
If they were $1 a mile, people that lived in Florida would still take them for $1 a mile. I mean, if there was a dealer, they closed now, but I had a dealer about 2 hours away from my house. And I understand why also, because if I had a load going to that dealer when I was coming home, if it was $1 a mile, I would have taken it too. Why not get $1 a mile and at least get something to go home? But there's not a whole lot up by me.
Yeah, I can't remember what we got paid when we went on our honeymoon down to Key West, but we delivered in what was that? It was at the time it was decent enough. It was still very profitable, but yeah, a destination state like that. I mean, People do just about anything for it.
Yeah, I think our normal bumper pulls under 13,000 pounds are like $170 to Florida now. And I've only taken one. I've only been to Florida once, and I did the same thing. Took my wife. We went down to Florida, and it paid for our trip. We stayed in a bed and breakfast on the beach, and we had a good time for 3 days, and then we came home. So I don't take it to make money though, because I'd rather take a 205 or 215 and go out west. Let's see. Brian says, I only call the dealer if it's a dealer I've not been to before and don't know their schedule. I totally understand it. I get that. Greg, I could start a repair garage for drivers, but I live like in almost to Canada. So you'd have a long way to get it up here. For the annual, they check lights, tires, horns, look for the fire extinguisher, and triangles. Chris, again, I know for a fact I did not have triangles and a fire extinguisher in my truck. And I also know that the checklist doesn't have that on there. The DOT official checklist where you get your sticker and all that, it's not on there. So I don't know why they're checking extinguishers and triangles, because it's not a mechanical thing on the truck. And they don't check your fuses. That's a thing that you have to have. You have to have fuses to replace all the stuff on your truck, or all the required equipment. I gotta clarify that. You don't have to have a fuse for your radio, but you have to have a fuse for your turn signals. But they don't check that in a DOT annual inspection.
Bandits are out. See you next week. Great and informative live. Have a great week, everyone. Transport Bandits out. Have a
Holy
good one,
crap,
man.
it's 9:30 almost.
Yeah, we've been rolling an hour and 7 minutes, so we're still rolling here, man.
Yep. All right, let's see.
Definitely the comments here.
Post a link to the best heater and carbon monoxide detector. Greg, Daniel's got a video on the carbon monoxide detector. I got a video on one. I think mine's titled "Don't Die in Your Truck" or something like that.
For real though.
They're just small things. They're not like a giant carbon monoxide detector like you have your house. They're really small. At least mine is. I don't know how yours is, Daniel. Now,
yeah,
remember, I did see your video.
Oh, it almost looks like a little puck, and it's got a little hook that I just put right on my visor, on the passenger side visor, and it just goes right there. It's beeped a couple times. I've just turned off the truck or opened the windows, and done whatever, and it goes away. And I've tested it. Also, that's another thing. Make sure if you do have one of these already, or you buy one, make sure after you buy it, you keep checking to make sure it's actually working. The battery's not dead. I think they should. I'm assuming anyone should be beeping more if the battery's about to die, like you'd assume. But don't just assume. Actually test the thing. So I'm going to go out and check mine. Actually, I haven't touched it in at least 6 months. So.
Yeah, Dennis, let me know how that high idle kit works. I had it on my 01, but I don't have it on this truck, so I don't know. What, hon? Thought my wife was calling me. Sorry. Let's see. Jim, interested in how far everyone travels to pick up their loads?
121 miles.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm 6.5 hours. So whatever that is. It's I-75 north till it ends. That's me.
A little over
Well, and
4.
then go west a little bit. Greg lives like right there. It's not even fair. He grabs a camper and then he goes home, sees his wife for a couple hours, then he takes off. He's home like every 3 days. That's not even fair. Let's see, 225 for Todd, 571 for Mickey. Paul's 189 miles. So, whoa. The Redneck Woman's 877. That's the biggest I've seen so far.
Wow.
That's a haul.
And I'm assuming with any company at this point being, requiring you to book the load and be able to get there within, 24 hours or whatever the circumstance is, like you're over a legal day away for that. So, man.
1,550 miles for Greg. Oh, he's out in Utah.
Oh,
So
that'll do it.
That'll do it. But it's beautiful out there. So,
Man.
Alan Carr is 1,200 miles. So, yeah, we got some people that got to make a haul.
Okay, reset channel. Furthest is 1859.
Oh, I forgot about Casey's out there in
3 miles.
Idaho, right? Isn't Casey in Idaho?
Yep. Yeah, Jim, you can see why people wait for days on end to get a load. Yeah, why go home when the cost of leaving it, you got to double it just to get back there. Man.
Pastor Anthony, the Ram has high idle from the factory. Well, they got to give you something since, you power wash a hole inside of them. So they got to give you something good.
Oh, brother.
Oh, crap.
RV Outlaws, I'm about 56 miles from Goshen. Soon as they're hiring, I'm in. Well, hang on before you get in because it's going to be a little bit, seemingly.
All right. Storm is trying to find foods that can easily eat out of the truck. Transport Bandit said baked beanie weenies and crackers. You got to eat better than that when you're out on the road. You can go back and look at some of the videos. They make those little lunchbox heaters and you can buy them at Pilot, and then you get the bread loaf pans at Walmart or the dollar store. Don't buy them at Pilot because they're way too expensive. But you buy those, and my wife, while I'm on the road, all the leftovers, when she if she has pot roast or whatever, puts them in there, puts aluminum foil, freezes them, and then I'm sorry, my dog just freaked out in the beanbag chair over there, and she never lays in a beanbag chair, and she just decided she was going to lay in it. So anyway, she freezes those into blocks, and I throw them in my cooler, and I have home cooked meals while I'm on the road. So try to stay healthy, grab a salad when you're on the road. I know it's not the most convenient stuff, but you got to eat better than beanie weenies.
Honestly, anymore, if it's possible, just go into the Walmart and then go to the deli section with the sandwiches, the salads, the little pasta stuff. That's where I've gone more recently. Yeah. Better than the much more greasier fast food stuff, if it's possible.
My last 2 weeks on the road, I spent $53 on food from Walmart. That was 2 weeks. That was breakfast, lunch, and dinner, plus the dinners that I brought from home. So it was cheap. I ate well. I had salads. I had cereal. I had oatmeal in the morning. So it was good food. And
Eric, meanie weenies also generate lots of methane gas. Oh man.
Well, you better get a gas detector to put in the truck then. Jeez. One spark and then
There she was.
we just see a mushroom cloud in the parking lot in Grand Island.
Oh man.
Hey Casey, how's that flatbed setup treating you? Seen a couple of your videos, but how I just saw you had to fix the trailer again. But are you rolling or are you sitting? I saw some cars, but are you hauling campers on that multi-haul setup?
Set off your CO detector. Oh man. Oh, he's still home. Oh.
Oh, still home like by choice or still home because there's nothing to not be still home about?
Mm.
So that's different because I'm home by choice right now, and hopefully there'll be something when I'm not wanting to stay home anymore.
One Indiana to Washington, 2 Canada, 1 Idaho to California. Wow.
Right on, right on. Stormin, that you're right. That sweet tea that Walmart sells, I forget what the brand is, but it comes in like a milk jug. It's actually really good, and it's a diuretic, and it's not horrible for you. It's got the sugar in it, but still, it's better than, or it's not as boring as water, like you said. I've gotten that stuff and I've thrown it in the bed of my truck too, and that's good to drink while you're on the road. And it's cheap. It's like what, $1.99 a gallon or something. So it's pretty good. Greg, the Denny's T-shirt. We had 3 people going at the same time. I got in. It said that my checkout would complete in, what did it say? 341 minutes. And then my son's girlfriend got in, and it said it would check out in 346 minutes. And then we waited about 5 minutes, and then it canceled our order and said they were sold out, so we didn't get it. And my son didn't even get in. Well, we had 3 people try at the same time. No go. And Daniel's looking at like, what is he talking about? The Denny's T-shirt.
I'm. I don't know what's happening.
The Denny's T-shirt. They sold 150 Denny's T-shirts for $5.99, and what it did was it had a QR code on the sleeve, and it gave you a free breakfast every day for 2023 for $6.
What? Oh,
Black Friday sale went on sale at midnight Thanksgiving night, and we tried to get it, but there was only 150 and we didn't get it.
Oh man, that's crazy. Oh my word.
It would have been cool to get it. I love breakfast, so that's my thing. That's my jam there. I would have loved to have that.
Oh my word. Whoever gets those shirts, don't lose it. Don't let it shrink or something.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh my word.
Let's see. We got no loads. Reset channel. We got no loads, but I wanted to be home anyway. Nature Nut Photos. Hot Logic. What are we talking about? Are you talking about the little heater upper thing? Because I don't know what the brand is. It's just the lunchbox thing from Pilot that I use. There's lots of brands. They do all the same thing. Plug in and they get hot. But I don't know what brand it is. I think it's Road King or something like that. Pure Leaf Tea. Yeah. It's amazing how cheap that tea is. Storman's going on about the tea again.
Excuse me.
Oh, another thing I wanted to ask Casey is, can you go on your own boards and find reloads, or do you have to go off the reload, whatever kind of reload board Horizon has? Because with Wave, we can't go off any other reload boards and just run them through our company. And I was disappointed in that because I was going to try to set that up. They said we don't do that. But I don't know if Horizon allows you to go to a different load board. I know Indiana does, and I think Synergy for their multi-haul guys do, and they take like 10 or 15% of the load or something to run under their DOT numbers. Okay, so he says that he thinks that we can do that. Well, it opens up options. I mean, especially if you got a trailer, it opens up options. I understand the car hauling business right now is not exactly paying big bucks, but better than nothing.
Think we'll shut her down here in just a few minutes.
All righty.
Warning shot here, I guess.
Yeah.
2 jugs of Hawaiian punch, fruit, and lemonade flavors. Nice. Store display models of them. 85 shipped. He has 1 left. Yeah, at the beginning, I had a regular cigarette lighter cooler, and the exhaust from it was, I mean, there was no settings. It was just on or off, and there was so much moisture. I would try to bring fruit and vegetables, other stuff, and they would be soggy within the first day. I mean, it would just have a thick layer of just condensation, whatever. And I heard people saying on the Facebook groups and stuff, oh, you just need to put some toweling paper in the cooler to absorb the moisture or stop it somehow or whatever. I did that to no success. I mean, it changed, I think, nothing. I would pull out the sealed Ziploc bag, and it would still be just soggy food. I'm just like, I'm not eating. This is slimy. So I wish I could get a cooler that wasn't that way. Maybe this one is, but man, Coolatron electric cooler. I'll check that out. Maybe it's different.
I have the AlpaCool, and it works really well. I haven't had any problems with condensation, but I pretty much leave it on freeze the whole time because I take frozen foods from home. I throw it in there, but I do chuck like my milk in there and things like that, and it just keeps everything cold. And then at night when I shut the truck off, it turns off, but it stays cold throughout the whole night because I don't run it off the batteries of the truck. The Ford, all the plugs in there turn off when you shut the truck off. After about 10 minutes, it powers down everything. So you can't run a plug nonstop all night.
I've found a way to mess things up like that. The Ram has one 12 volt, at least in my 12, that is straight to the battery, no safety. I'm sure there's a fuse, of course, but no precautionary shutdown. You could run that thing until your battery is, with Jesus or something. Which multiple times. Oh, at truck stops, at home, at the back in the day, the parking lot of my wife's family's home when I first started RV Transport, and I would be leaving at 5 a.m. or something from Ohio to go somewhere, and my truck is dead, and I have to do the walk of shame back to the house from the parking lot. And we're not cool enough to do that, so we just kill batteries over here. Oh my word!
Well, the Alpacool works really well. It's a compressor style one, and it keeps stuff really cold. You can freeze. It has froze my milk. I've had like milkshakes when I took the milk out to pour it on my cereal, but
Wow.
but it works really good, and it fits right in my front seat, just the way that I want it to be there. I would like a little bit bigger one, but I don't have the room for it, so I'll just keep what I got.
Is there any? Sorry.
No, that's it.
Okay. Is there any exhaust fan that will cook your truck if in the summertime? Does it get the displaced heat? Does that affect you at all, or?
It doesn't really affect me. It does have an exhaust that goes out the side toward the passenger door that is warm, but I've never noticed it being like super overly hot or anything like that. So, so I haven't really had a problem with that. It doesn't get quite that hot because it doesn't. I run it on like cold, and it shuts off. It doesn't constantly run. If it's a non-compressor cooler, it runs all the time. But the compressor coolers will run till it gets cold enough, and then it'll stop.
Kick off, yeah.
So I really haven't had a problem with it, and I run it off 110 though. It has a plug for 12 and a plug for 110, and I run it off the 110 plug in the dash of my truck, so it doesn't take up my cigarette lighter, because that's where my GPS is plugged into.
Gotcha.
And I don't want to use the splitters and all that stuff. It seems to be more efficient on 110 than the 12 volt, even though there's a box that switches it back to 12 volt. It's just in my head.
Gotcha.
But you're not going to change my mind. It's more efficient that way.
All right. Reset's going to bed. Have a good one. I think we're gonna shut the party down. Yeah. I'll pray real quick for Pastor Anthony's mom going through some surgery, and then we'll hop off here. And thank you. Hey, thank you for joining me. Anybody who's still awake and here with us, if you want to join me, there is no waiting list. I'm not cool enough to have a waiting list. So if you want to join me, please, whether you're a other YouTube person or not, I don't care. Join me. Let's talk. Let's chat through the comments.
Thanks for having me, and thanks everybody for being here. This is like my first live, so
yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Couldn't even show up with a clean hoodie though.
Hey, well, my collar is messed up, so whatever. Oh man, it's been fun, guys. Storming over Dennis. Yeah, cool. I'll go ahead and pray real quick, and we will hop off.
Alrighty.
Father, we just thank you for this day. Thank you for this awesome community, being able to laugh and learn and encourage each other going through this kind of tough season. We just want to lift up Pastor Anthony's mom going through some surgery, and I'm sure others having other issues health-wise out there. We just pray for them. Pray for that surgery to go well, for her to heal from that. And we just thank you for safe traveling out on the road with the literally thousands of miles we put on our trucks so very often. Keep everybody safe. Those who are patrolling the highways, and keep them safe as well. Snow plows and everybody else. We just these loads are not worth our lives, and you value us, and we should hopefully value ourselves and others around us being safe out on the road. So thank you for this time, and in Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All righty, guys. Thanks for being here. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here, I guess. So, oh, there's the dog. Yeah.
All right. See you guys.
See ya. Have a good one, guys.